What is up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel. How the hell are you? So in today's video, I'm actually going to be starting out a brand new series that you guys have been asking for a really long time, where I basically just go over a load of different things in the makeup world, talk you through a load of basics, teach you like how to do a smoky eye, how to do a cut crease, how to contour, all that good stuff. I mean, like, I will never sit here and claim to be a makeup artist ever, not at all. But I always get questions about like the best way to cream contour, like the best way to do a cut crease. And I mean, I've got my own little certain ways of how I do things. Yeah, basically, I thought I would just start up this new little series where I just go through kind of like, I want to say the basics, but like, I mean, a cut crease for me, like I barely even knew how to do a cut crease a few years ago. But yeah, this new little series, whatever I decide to call it, is basically just going to be me going through different things that you guys want to know how to do, and I'm going to tell you how I do them. So in today's video, I've actually teamed up with Born to Sparkle, which is a very affordable brand available in WILKO. You guys know how I feel about WILKO. Like, WILKO's like one of my favorite shops of all time. So when I heard that there was a new little beauty brand on the block, I was like, I need to try that. So yeah, in today's video, while I'm showing you guys all of my tips and tricks on doing a smoky eye, I'm also going to be trying out a few products from them. So they sent over the Born to Sparkle. It says Makeup Uncovered. The collection eye palette looks like this. This entire palette cost £10. And I mean, this literally looks like all you would kind of need for a neutral eye look, which you guys know I do way too often. But then you also have like a few pops of color in there as well. You know, my eyes are like being very much drawn to that purple. But yeah, I think this looks really good. You've got a mix of mattes and shimmers, got some cool tones, got some warm tones. And I mean, like for £10, this is some really nice packaging. And you get a little brush as well. So you've got the eyeshadow palette, and then they also went ahead and sent over the highlight and bronzer palette, which looks like this. I can see a little shade poking out here that looks right up my street. So it looks like we've got 2 matte bronzers and then 2 shimmering highlighters, one kind of like a champagne shade and one a little bit more pinky. And this bad boy costs just £5. So like, super affordable. And then another thing that also costs a £5 is this little trio of lip glosses. So this is called, the lip gloss trio. You've got 3 different shades in there, all kind of like neutral nudes. This little guy over here looks right up my street. This one is called Pinky Golds. And then we also have this cute little bauble just in time for Christmas, like really good stocking filler. Sorry to drop the C-bomb. Christmas, I know it's still way too early, but really cute little stocking filler there. This guy costs £2, and as you can see, you get a little beauty sponge in there. So yeah, today I'm going to be trying out all of those products, letting you guys know my honest thoughts. Obviously, yes, I am working with Born to Sparkle, but I am still going to be letting you guys know my thoughts on all the products as I go along, all whilst telling you like my little tips and tricks on how to do the perfect smoky eye, or the perfect Steph smoky eye. Everyone does their own smoky eye in a different way, but like, this is how I do mine. So if you want to hear more, if you want to hear my thoughts on the Born to Sparkle range, please stay tuned. Okay, I'm gonna need to zoom you guys in quite a bit, so let's come forward. I'm coming. All right, so as you can see, I've got nothing on my face apart from a little bit of moisturizer. So first of all, I'm gonna take a little eye base. Any eye base will do. I usually use concealer. And I'm also gonna take this sponge here, if I can get into it. 12 hours later. Oh, this is cute. It's like a little pink marble sponge. Feels very squishy. It kind of feels like one of those putty sponges that I've used before, which I really like. So be right back. I'm gonna wet this guy, and then we're gonna pop on some eye base. Okay, so the first kind of tip that I have for you guys, if you are maybe new to a smoky eye, start with your eyes first. I personally always tend to prefer doing my base first. It's just the way I roll. But if you are a little bit worried about like fallout or anything like that, do your eyes first. If your eyes are like the main thing that you're kind of like, maybe not the most practiced in, then just do your eyes first, because you literally can just like clean everything up and solve all of your issues after that. So what I'm gonna do is just take a little bit of my eye base, or concealer, whatever you want to use. And I'm just going to tap that on to start off with. Some people use a brush. I actually prefer to use a sponge. I just find it a whole lot easier. And obviously with my nails, like, there is no chance I'll just end up poking my eye out with these. So I'm just going to press that onto my lid. I've had a cat hair on my nose that whole time. Okay, so now here comes the debate of like whether you should set your eyeshadow down or not. If I'm doing something really intense, like a lot of colors and something that I really want to pop, if I'm doing like a really intense halo eye or something like that, or a cut crease, I'll usually leave my base wet. But to be honest, when it comes down to smoky eyes, I actually kind of like to just set my eyes down first. I find it just blends everything out a lot more easily, and you do really get like the more like smoky eye effect as opposed to like super Instagram-y. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love Instagram makeup, but sometimes I just want a nice simple smoky eye, you know? So I'm just gonna crack into this palette here. So I've got all the shade names on here. I'm just gonna try and leave that there so I can tell you guys what colors I'm using. So these are all the colors. Let's do a few swatches. I really wanna try the champagne shade. Okay, that actually, like, that low-key feels really buttery. I actually wasn't expecting it to feel that good. Like, I really wasn't. I was thinking to myself, like, yeah, I imagine it's gonna be all right. But these feel really good. That purple is stunning. Okay, let's do like a matte. Let's do this red shade here. Whoa. Okay, these are pigmented. And then I'm also going to do this deep brown shade there. What? So I've got the champagne shade there. Very nice. The purple. Oh my God, that looks so good. The red shades, which looks good. If we just like blend that out a touch more. Yeah, that's better. That looks nice. And then also this dark brown there. These don't look half bad. So like I said, the palette also comes with a brush, which actually, that actually feels quite nice. Like I've got a bunch of other brushes here. I've got like a Real Techniques one here. Yeah, they feel kind of exactly the same. All right, so like I said, I'm personally going to set down my base today, but I mean, if you don't want to, you really don't have to. We can still be friends. It's fine. Let me know if you want me to do like a wet base eyeshadow look or something, like a tips and tricks on that kind of thing, because I can definitely do that. But today, we're setting it down. So I'm going to take this shade here, which is called Nude. Very fitting. And I'm going to pat that all over my lid. So I'm just tapping that in up to my brow bone. Basically, wherever I put the base, I'm just putting this. And as you can see, like that with the base as well has just kind of gotten rid of any veins or anything like I have on this eye. A lot of times people ask me like, do I need an eye primer? I mean, you don't. Like I said, everyone does everything different. But for me personally, I find it makes such a difference because it really does just like blank out your lid completely. So that's all set. All right, so now I have to try and decide what kind of colors I want to use. I really do think I want to use that purple color. Like, I'm kind of thinking I might focus on this little section here, maybe dabble in a few of these. I don't know. You guys know what I'm like when it comes to like eye makeup looks. I literally just like want to take every single color. I think I'm actually going to do is take this shade up here. It's kind of like a peachy shade and it is called Macaroon. So I'm literally just tapping my brush in there, tapping off the excess. And I like to always start in my crease. I always start in my crease no matter what kind of look I'm doing. So I'm just very lightly gonna wiggle that in there. Another little tip as well is to build everything up. So even if you want like the most intense like black smoky eye, don't just go and like chuck a load of black on your eye. You really want to just kind of like build it up in layers. So I'm just taking a few little taps of that, tapping it off on my hand and just slowly building. So this is going to be transition shade, which is basically what's going to help everything kind of blend together. Hi, I'm joined by Michael. Why are you licking my toes? What I also kind of like to do with smoky eyes as well is say, for example, like obviously today I'm using a lot of the kind of cool purpley tones. I do like to add at least a little bit of warmth in there. So I am just adding a touch of warmth in there with that peachy color, but not so it's like something you necessarily notice, just so it kind of like sits behind the cool tones and just kind of makes it pop a bit more. So again, just blending that in my crease. So I always like to use fluffy brushes with smoky eyes, purely because I find it just diffuses everything a lot more nicely. Everything blends in a lot better, so there's no like harsh lines or anything like that. Like if I was to go in, I don't know, use like a dense brush like this, it's not really gonna blend everything as nicely as I want it to. So I just find that a fluffy brush always works a lot better. So there's that. Next, I'm gonna go in with one of the cool tones that I want to use. So I'm gonna take this shade here, which is called Taupe. And I'm gonna take the same fluffy brush because I actually just like want these colors to all kind of like blend together. So again, tap off the excess and I'm gonna tilt my head back and really just pop that in the crease. And I like to start kind of wiggling my brush in the center of my crease to start off with. I don't like to go like full windshield wiper motions to start off with. I like to just kind of work it out. This is maybe another silly tip as well, but I also find that sometimes if you tap your brush in an eyeshadow, so it's like that, sometimes if you tap it off on your hand or on a table or something, it takes off a little bit too much. So I actually like to just go and just kind of fluff away any excess on the brush there. So now that you can see I've actually got some color building up there, I will just start to do some windshield wiper motions. And I'll just do this, and then every so often you might see me kind of like wiggle around like that. You just have to kind of eyeball it really. So like I feel like I could do with a little bit more depth there. So I'm gonna take some more of that, give it a little flick, and just start off by doing a little buffing motion and then slowly start to almost like drag it away from that. And basically then I just kind of like stare into space for a minute and just do this. You don't even really need to look at it. You can just kind of like feel where your eye socket is. Obviously, if you want to like exaggerate like a wing or something, then you can just drag it out that way. But yeah, just kind of like stare into space a little bit and just go side to side. If you do want to kind of like wing out your eye look a little bit more as well, I find that literally doing kind of like a V shape, it just looks a bit harsh and a bit messy. So what I actually personally tend to prefer doing is I will just kind of like lightly flick out. So don't like buff, don't flick in, just keep going in the direction you want to go. It might take a little while, but I find it blends out a whole lot more easy if you just do it like one little swoop at a time. And you can see it's just starting to like pull up a bit. All right, so now I usually either go for something that's a little bit darker or a little bit more intense in color. So what I'm gonna do, just so I can like try out as many different shades in this palette as I can, is I'm gonna go for this shade up here, which is called, let me just consult my notes, Parma Violet. Oh my God. What do you guys think of Parma Violets? I love them. Like, I love them so much. Like Parma Violet cider, Parma Violet, I don't know, what else is there, Parma Violet? I once had a Parma Violet milkshake. Sounds disgusting. Actually really, really good. So I just did a couple of taps in that, and then again, just do my little shake just to get off like the excess. And then again, I'm just gonna buff that in my crease. So I'm actually using the brush that comes with the palette, and it feels really nice. But because the two colors that I'm using in my crease are so similar, I go slightly lower with one of them. So on this occasion, I'm using the Parma Violet shade a little bit lower than the taupe one. And it just kind of like gives my crease a slightly different blend up here. So it kind of goes like Parma Violet, then taupe like right in the crease, and then it goes to that lighter shade, the macaroon shade. So again, just doing the same kind of thing, just doing it a little bit lower. So as you can see, I am going a little bit on my lid. I don't actually want this color on my lid. Like by the time I'm done, you probably won't even really see this color on my lid. It just makes everything blend a whole lot easier if you do kind of go further than you need to. So far, we have 0 fallout. I'm pretty impressed by that. So then what you can do as well, I like to kind of do this halfway through when I'm doing the eye look, is I'll take the same brush that I use to set down my base, whether I use like translucent powder or whatever, and I will just kind of blend everything out on my brow bone just a touch, just to make sure it's not like stopping in a really harsh manner. If you ever find that it is looking a little bit harsh, by the way, you can always take like a translucent powder or some sort of like lighter colored powder and just put a tiny little bit on like a fluffy brush and just kind of like overlap it between the more bare skin and the eyeshadow. And it just helps to blend everything in a bit better. Or you can just fake the entire thing, put a load of shimmer on your brow bone. No one will ever notice. So now again, I'm going to take the same brush that I was using before, the one that came in the palette, and I'm going to go in with this shade down here. So this is the deepest purple in the palette, and it is called Black Cherry. And so what I like to do personally for my eye shape is I like to focus it mostly to start off with right on the outer corner. So I literally just like place it there to begin with. I'm just tapping it, not really blending, because then I find that it can kind of like over blend a bit. But if you tap with a fluffy brush, then it does kind of like blend itself sometimes. And obviously because all of the colors are very similar, because we're literally just going like slightly darker or slightly lighter, they all blend really easily. Then I'm going to go back in with that fluffy brush that I was using before that had the lighter purple shades on there, and just lightly blend that again. So I'm not adding any more color or anything like that. You can if you want to, but I just find that you don't really need to half the time. Like even if you can't see the actual color on the brush, usually there's something on there. And if you buff it enough, it will come off and help to blend everything. So now I'm actually going to go in with a flat brush. So far I've just been using fluffy brushes, and I'm going to go in with this shimmery purple shade here, which I'm really excited to use. So this one here is called Amethyst. Look at that. Yes. So tapping off the excess, and then I'm just going to pat that over the center of my lid. Ooh, that's pretty. I feel like we can go a little bit more intense though. So what I'm actually going to do is take a little bit of setting spray, spray that on my brush. You can just use water or whatever you like as well. I'm just going to load up that brush even more. And this should make it look like extra intense and extra foiled. Yeah, instantly it's like ba-bam. Obviously you can create like a similar effect if you do have a wet base as well. It all kind of like works in the same way really. That's such a pretty color. So again, I'm just kind of like starting where I want the majority of it first. And I'm not necessarily like swooping. You don't really see me like dragging my eyelid or anything like that. I'm just kind of like placing it down and then doing kind of little tap wiggles. I'm kind of like doing this. You know, I'm not like swooping. I'm just doing like, I don't really know what this motion's called, but that's what I'm doing. It's like just very firm taps. And I like to kind of like work in a little semicircle. That's such a stunning color. I was going to put my contacts in today, but then I just thought I can't be bothered. And I'm actually kind of glad I didn't because I feel like that colour works so well with my natural eye colour. It's pretty. So then going back in with that brush that I used with the darker colour, again, not applying anything else. I'm literally just tapping over the top of it just to kind of make sure everything's blending there. So just light taps. You don't want to over blend or anything because then it might end up just looking like a massive, basically like a black eye. I don't want a black eye. I'm then going to take a little pencil brush and I'm going to go in with this shade up here called Peaches and Cream, just because I feel like it'll work really, really well with that purple. So because I use the shade all over my lid wet, I'm going to use this dry just to kind of help it blend a little bit more nicely, just so it's not like purple, pink, and then it's like, it's just a bit too intense. So I'm just going to lightly bring that in from my inner corner and just kind of like lighten that purple just a little bit. And I'm just going to wipe that off just on a little towel. I'm going to go in with this shade here, which looks so stunning. So this one here was called Champagne. Tap off the excess. And I'm going to run that on my brow bone. Ooh, that's so pretty. That is what we needed. That is what we needed. So just bring that onto my brow bone. Then go back in with that fluffy brush with like the lighter purple shade on it. And just lightly dust over that. Again, just kind of like blend the two together. Because obviously if you are applying powder, you don't want there to be like actual like powder particles like sitting on top of a look you just did. So if you just kind of like, if you just like blend them in together a little bit, then they'll just merge together a bit better. So just kind of flicking away the excess powder from the highlighter and just blending the two colors together. And if, for example, you ever do find that you want to add a little bit more intensity, say for example, I'd like to add a little bit more purple here, literally just lightly tap over the top again. So honestly, it's all just a case of like, one color, another color. If you put them on top of each other, it'll look a bit like obvious. But if you wiggle them together, they become one little happy family. I don't know what that metaphor was, but I'm just gonna roll with it, okay? Okay. And obviously you can even use your finger as well. Let's try it with my finger. So I'm gonna take that purple shade, just kinda wanna see how it looks. Yeah, that adds even more intensity there. Don't know if you can see too much, but if I just take some of my finger, you can see it there. And again, just kind of like tap and lightly press. And then if you do need to blend anything out, you can just lightly go over it with a brush. Personally for me, I find the best way to do a smoky eye, or like most eye looks to be honest, is to place down the majority of color that you want and then do the blending after. I mean, don't get me wrong, I always make sure that I do like the crease and the transition and everything really, really subtly and really build that up. When it comes to my lids, I just kind of like pack on the color and then I work at blending them together underneath. So just lightly blend that in. All right, so that's it for a minute. What I'm now gonna do is I'm gonna go off camera and do my base makeup and everything like that, just to save a little bit of time. And then once I come back, I'll do my inner corner, I'll do my lower lash line, and then we'll try out the contouring and highlighting palette, which I'm very excited about. But yeah, be right back, gonna go grab myself a cup of tea, sort out the rest of my face, and then we'll do a couple of finishing touches. All right, guys, so put my brows on, did the other eye, did a lot of my base. So now I'm gonna kind of like finish up with this little smoky eye look. So I think what I'm gonna do, I've been having a little look, and I think what I'm going to do is go in with this shade here to start off with. This one here. I don't know where my slip is. I lost it. Oh, where did I put that? Oh, it's on the floor. It's on the floor. This colour is called Desert Sand. So I'm going to go in with a flat, fluffy brush, and I'm going to take some of Desert Sand. So what I also want to do in a second is take this darker brown here and pop that a little bit more on the outer corner. So again, like using a slightly lighter colour on the inner corner and in the center, and then like deepen up on the outer corner, just so it kind of like connects to this bit here. So do my little wiggle, and just running that on my lower lash line. And then I'm taking that dark brown shade here called Mocha. So again, I'm just tapping that in, tap off the excess, and I'm gonna run that on the outer corner and just kind of like connect that to the dark purple and blend those two together. And then make sure that I've obviously like blended it in between as well. I might go back in with a little bit more of Desert Sand or whatever the hell it was called. And just kind of like keep intensifying that until I've got the smokiness that I want. Like this. I'm pretty happy with that. Then I usually like to take a brush like this, so like a slightly larger pencil brush. And what I'm going to do is go back in with Champagne. So just load that up. And what I like to do on the inner corner, I always do my inner corner. Literally, if I don't do it, I feel like basically naked. But I'm literally going to tap this on my inner corner. So I'm not going to create any kind of like weird shape. I'm not going to do too much blending. I'm just going to tap off the excess and just plonk that on the inner corner and just keep tapping slight tiny little circles and then just start to blend that into the rest of the eye. And yeah, that's kind of it. So yeah, be right back. I'm gonna add some mascara. Might add some lashes if I can find my lash glue, but I have no idea where it is, to be honest. I'll add something to my lips, and then we'll do contouring, highlighting, and a little bit of gloss. But yeah, I'm really into this palette. I think it's so good for a tenner. Literally had no issues with it at all. There was no patchiness. The colors were pigmented, but not too pigmented, so that, like, it was a pain to like blend or anything. And yeah, I just think it's a really nice selection of colors. So I'm actually really into that. I'm keen to check out some more stuff from them. So yes, be right back. Gonna even myself up, add some mascara, add some lips, and then we'll highlight. All right, guys, couldn't find my lash glue, but that's fine. We're just keeping it nice and simple today. So now I'm gonna move on to this palette, which I'm so excited to try. So this is the highlighter and bronzer palette. By the way, I don't think I actually mentioned this before, but every single product in the Born to Sparkle range is cruelty-free, which is fab. Ooh, these look good. These are like my tones. That's my tone. I love my tones. I just love that you guys know I'm just gonna dive straight into the highlighters. I know that you know that. That looks so good. And then this guy here. That looks nice too. I might even put a little bit of that on my inner corner. Okay, that's actually not as pink as I thought it was gonna be, which is good. I really like that. And then there's this shade here. Oh my God. Yes. Okay, I'm gonna take that same brush that I used on my inner corner. And yeah, I'm just gonna load up my inner corner with that pinky shade. Yeah, stunning. Right, okay, I need to go in with the contouring powders. I was literally about to jump into highlighter, but it's probably better if we do the bronzing first. These both look like really nice colors to me. Like, this looks like a good contouring powder for me. This looks like a good bronzer, so I'm gonna have a little go at those. So I'm gonna take this shade down here to contour with. Seems a little bit more cool toned compared to the one above it. Ooh. Ooh, hello, 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 hello. I instantly know I'm gonna like that. That reminds me of the Too Faced chocolate bronzer. Like, same kind of color, everything. I'm really into that. Really, really into that. I'm then gonna take this bigger fluffy brush and I'm gonna go in with the shade above and bronze up my cheeks. So this one is a little bit warmer than the other one, just by a touch. But it's still not like orange or anything. It's actually a really, really nice color. These products are really nice. Like, I know the whole kind of like, I'm working with them. It makes me lose like a touch of credibility. I know there's gonna be some people that think I'm just saying this because I'm working with the brand. But I have nothing bad to say about these products at all, like genuinely. And you guys know I love affordable products. And if I can find dupes of anything, I'm like, yes. And the fact that this is a bit of a dupe of like my Too Faced chocolate bronzer, I'm really into it. And this one here actually reminds me a lot of my Urban Decay Beach bronzer, which is also another favorite of mine. Just gonna bronze up on my cheeks. Yeah, I'm really into that. All right, so now I've been waiting long enough. It's time to dip into this highlighter. So I'm gonna go in with the champagne shade first. Let's see what you can do. Oh my God, there it is. There it is. Hello. So if we put that on my cheek and then I'll just do like a little close inspection in a second. That's so pretty. Okay, let's see how it looks on the skin. It looks really good. I was thinking it might look a little bit kind of like powdery, a little bit textured, but it just looks good. I'm even gonna take a little bit of that pinky one and pop that right on top to make it even more intense. Oh, the two of those together, I'm digging it. And then I'm gonna take a little mix of both of those and do a little dot on my snoz. Oh, look how cute that is. And then we'll also do down the center as well. Yeah, I have literally zero complaints about that. It's affordable, good colors. There's no like dud shade in there either. Like, you guys know I don't really like pink highlighters that much on me, but that's not too pink. That's just more of like an icy highlight. So I'm very, very into this. So now last but not least, I'm gonna try out one of these glosses. I'm gonna crack into these. Let's have a look at these colors. So, I mean, I think we've got to go for this one. I really do. This one's just like calling my name. So this is Pinky Gold. And I'm just gonna add, that's a gloss I can get on board with. I'm always so like, look at that. So like apprehensive about glosses. You guys know they're not usually my thing, but this is a nice subtle gloss. It's like not too juicy looking, but it just adds a nice little glow to the lips. That's really nice. I've ruined the doe foot, my bad. It feels really good. It feels really hydrating. Doesn't feel sticky at all. It actually kind of feels more of like a lip oil than anything else. I'm really impressed. I am really impressed by all of this. I feel like I need to try out more stuff from this brand. I went on the WILKO website and they had like loads of gift sets and stuff. So yeah, I definitely think I'll be heading into WILKO soon and picking up some new bits for myself because I'm really, really impressed. Good eyeshadow, great highlighter, great bronzing powder. And I mean, I tried a lip gloss and I actually kind of like it, which never happens. All right, guys, so that is it for today's video. Let me know if you did find this useful. Let me know if you want me to do more videos like this, because I definitely can. And if you do want me to do more videos like this, then let me know what you want to see. Do you want like contouring tips? Do you want like cut crease tips, foundation tips? Let me know what you want. I'll pop it on a list and I'll get onto it. Once again, a massive thank you to Born to Sparkle for collaborating with me on this video. I really like the products. Like, I genuinely think these are so good. Like, not even just for the money, they're just really bloody good. So as always, if you guys did want to check out any of the products that I have featured today, I will leave a link to them down below in the description box, so make sure you check them out if you want to have a little look. If you enjoyed this video, as always, please do give it a big thumbs up and subscribe if you don't want to see more of me, because I upload all the damn time. But apart from that, that is it from me. I love you guys and I will see you in the next one. Bye.